Hello and welcome to the next episode of CreativeCraft. So today we are going to be carrying on what I started at the end of the last episode. So that means actually making it so that we can actually get the dinosaurs here in survival mode. This time we're not going to start with any of the genetic stuff, but like we did last episode, which we made these blood samples, which I could actually get from said animals, including a player. And let's go all the way to the start, because there's no point in having the blood samples if you've got no base DNA to work with. So first we need to make a way so we can actually gain actual fossils. So I have an idea. My idea is to use these. So coal and bones. So from bones, we will hopefully be able to get the dinosaur bone fragments. Or even from said dinosaur bone fragments, we will be able to gain stem cells. And those stem cells is then the thing we can alter with DNA to make our dinosaurs. And then from coal we'll be able to gain amber, and then from there get an ancient DNA fragment, which will be the backbone of what we're going to use to make our dinosaurs. So you're probably thinking, what are we going to use to get these things like dinosaur bones, amber, and then the DNA fragments, and then the stem cells from these? I have an idea. Maybe we use microscopes. Yes, I'm looking at adding microscopes into the game. So first, I'm thinking something the paleontologist can use is a light microscope. We can give coal to light microscope a chance of giving us amber, but then when we put bones through a light microscope, it'll give us a chance of either dinosaur bones, dinosaur bone fragments, or some other things. Because you're never actually going to always get what you want from something like this. So you're probably wondering what I'm talking about when I say you never actually get what you want from fossils and such. So I'm thinking with a bone into a microscope, we'll probably get bone fragments, fossil fragments, dinosaur bones, or even preserved tissue. And then from coal, chance getting plant fossils, amber shards, insects in amber, fossil fragments, and then nothing interesting. So we can get nothing interesting from this as well, which then would be a failure. So in a sense, from bone, use a bone fragment can be used as basic research material. A fossil fragment we can combine into fossils to make dinosaur bones, like I suggested last episode. In that case, that's how we make skeletons. And in a dinosaur bone itself would be a source of our stem cells. And in preserved tissue would be a rare genetics ingredient. So who knows what could be in store here? And then also we could use actually some of the education edition tables to break down different things even further. So what I'm suggesting is using one of these, which is called a material reducer. Can we open you up and put one item in the top, and it'll break it down into whatever. So for example, put obsidian in there, gives me elements. Traditionally gives you elements, but I think I will be able to get away with making it so we pop in a blood sample and it gives us DNA or genes. And then we can also use a lab table later on to actually combine certain genes with stem cells, dinosaur DNA. I think that's a good way to do it. So then we can have a light microscope and an electron microscope, which that's where we actually get the stem cells and the DNA from. So yeah, I think this is a solid start. I think we should start getting to modelling. Between that clip and now, I have just asked ChatGPT to generate me images of a light microscope and an electron microscope. And these two, I do kind of like the look. And the light microscope over here, as you can see, it's clearly made out of a spyglass, which is this, and then a piece of glowstone at the bottom. But I'm going to do a different recipe than that. I'm going to do a glowstone, spyglass, and then an iron block. But with this is the electron microscope. I'm going to put a spyglass in there as well, a custom spyglass. So now I've just got to model them. So here we have, this is the little piece of glowstone, and this is our base. So now we've got a stage here fitted to the arm, and then this is our where the lens goes in. Okay, that looks like a convincing spyglass section. Okay, there's all the parts. Now we get to texture it. And there we go. An entire microscope model. So this is going to be a block that we are actually going to be able to place down in the world. Now let's get on to the electron microscope. And here they are in the game. So I've got an electron microscope and my light microscope. Yes, I like the way I hold them. And if you notice, yes, I have placed them down in the corner over there. And I did remember after recorded all the time lapse to do that. I'd forgotten to do the visuals bit, so I've done that, and they look quite cool. So as I was messing around with these, I've had to do a bit of a change of plan. So instead of actually giving the light these microscopes items, and my original plan was to just give the light microscope an item or spit out a loot table, that ain't gonna work because I can't actually do that with blocks. And in my original plan for the electron microscope was to try and make it like a custom furnace. Again, you can't do that with custom blocks. So instead, I've had to resort to doing this. Custom crafting tables. So I've got an electron microscope and a light microscope. So these will have custom recipes for, as I explained earlier. This one is designed to be used out and about, and this one's designed to be used in a lab because it's massive. Just showing the size, comparing the size difference. It's just, yeah. I'd say the light microscope's a bit oversized, to be honest, but still, it looks good. It looks cool and it's quite accurate. So who's gonna say anything about that? Plus, light microscope as it's light, and it can literally be used anywhere. Oh, so can the electron, but it's designed to be only used in the lab. Hence why it's got a load of like vents and bits. But yeah, I love the way how these have turned out. And well, the next step is literally making it so we can actually get custom items from the coal and the bones using these. So they're not. And then after that, the genes, and then stem cells, and then all of that. Yeah, it's going to come together, but those two of the tables are going to be used mainly. And now, finally, I think I'd better get on with actually making the items that it's actually going to make possible to give us a base, to get a baseline genetic code. So, in a sense, items that we have to examine using those microscopes that will give us biological material. So let's get on to doing some texturing. Let's go! And now, I hope you enjoyed watching all of that, and I finally, here, I have all the raw things you're going to be able to get all the biological material from. So, bone meal, bone, coal, and blocks of coal. Starting with the light microscope, if we can use 2 bones will give us a fossil fragment. 3 bones will give us fossilized dinosaur bone fragments. 8 bones will give us a fossilized dinosaur bone. So also, we can use these bone fragments, if we use 2 of them. And bone meal we can actually use to get a fossilized dinosaur bone. And then also, when it comes to coal, 1 will get us another fossil fragment. 3 will get us a full fossil. 5 will give us an amber shard. And 9 will give us some more dinosaur bones. Now if we go on to blocks of coal, each of these contain more genetic material. 1 block of coal will give us a chunk of amber. 3 gives us an insect in amber, and that is it. Also, when it comes to the shards, we can use these under the microscope to make more chunks. And then these chunks can be used, 9 of them, in a crafting table, not the microscope, to make a block of amber. Also, with a glowstone, we can use more chunks of amber to make an amber lantern. So we've got 2 blocks, amber lantern, and a slightly transparent block of amber. If I surround it, I think it looks pretty cool. And I've even experimented with this to make you see what it would look like on here. And I love the way that looks. I really is an upgrade from the honey. And now this is where it gets really in depth, because we can use all these things we just got from the light microscope in the electron microscope. So we can use fossilized dinosaur bones to give us 9 totipotent stem cells, so you can change to any kind of cell. And these 3 fossilized stem cells, 3 fossilized dinosaur bone fragments, and 2 bone meal to make 2 totipotent stem cells. Entire fossil can be ground down to make ancient DNA. 3 fossil fragments makes 1 ancient DNA. You can get an insect in amber to make 9 ancient DNA. 4 amber shards makes 3 ancient DNA as well. And the chunks of amber don't. No, they don't. Because they're used to make blocks. So, when you have a look at this ancient DNA, you can have a look and see it has a load of gaps in it. See, it's missing a few sections that aren't joined up. That are joined up on this DNA. So this is a full DNA strand. As I said about my brick wall analogy in an earlier episode, this is your full brick wall, and this is your brick wall with some bricks missing. It's not as strong. When it comes to genetics, this could be the difference between life or death, or within surviving a few minutes, or even not even dividing, you never know. But then this is the stable DNA, and using this we will make something. So this is only here as a placeholder at the moment, but I will end up adding genes, which then we can combine with this to stabilize it, and then after that combine with these totipotent stem cells and with an egg to make any one of these eggs, which then we can incubate and hatch. So I hope that really clears everything up. Now I can actually show you items and such. And so I don't want to be rambling at you for a while about genetics, so I think I have gone long enough. So that's all we have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you understand the genetic side a bit more at least. And I will see you in the next one, where we're going to go even more about editing genomes this time. So thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!